Dollar. Dirt and money, no soul. Had to go and get it, ain't no time to kick it. Got a stack to flip for my foes. Dollar. Please tell me you can hear me. Don't turn your back and don't neglect me. Just let me know if you need me. Dollar. Let me watch out for my partners. Keep my money long, get my team strong. Let me run away from my problems.
Yep, what's good, original crew? It's your boy DJ New Kid, your girl.
Sierra Nicole.
Back on the channel with more Degenerocity. We got the best artists to fall off. You got one? You know any? I say this. I say it's an era artist. A lot of people who study the music industry knew it was gonna happen. It was the SoundCloud artists. Everybody knew that genre of music from like 2015, like that 2014, 2015 era. Mm-hmm. It's about 2017, 2018. Everybody knew like, all right, that shit temporary. You know what I'm saying? Because most of y'all I think a lot of YouTubers pushed it, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And made it, y'all tried to force people to mess with it, you know what I'm saying? Even the reactions kind of forced people to like, all right, yeah, it wasn't hit on nothing, man. It wasn't longevity. None of them was putting out longevity music, you know what I'm saying? And that's what kind of messed up their career. So everybody knew, like, that studied the game was like, yo, this is so temporary. Nobody, like, you know how, a hit is a hit and it's going to be a longevity hit? Yeah. Like, I like Big Butts in a Can. Like, that's a temporary song, but you know it was a hit and it was a longevity hit. But, like, Gucci Gang was never going to be a temporary. It was only a temporary hit. It was never a longevity hit. So, you got those, man. But let's see who you got to talk about, man, today. So, make sure y'all check out the links in the description box.
Down below.
You already know where to go, man. You want to first support, you have to do it. Check out down below. Also, if you enjoyed today's video,
like it in with a thumbs up.
And we'll highly appreciate it. But let's get into this, man. Let's see who we got on this list. I'm ready to see what he's talking about, man. Let's go.
Longevity, a long duration of individual life. Some are long-lived, while others are cut short. Not only can this be applied to living, but also in all art and entertainment. Like, will this piece of work stand the test of time to be remembered as great, or will it be put in a modern art museum? Only time can tell. And many music artists throughout all the years had faded away alongside time. It's crazy to think about, cause some of these artists, or at least their songs, were all over the radio and playlists and constantly being replayed. But by next year, nobody's even having a thought about their music, let alone the artist. Their relevance was like receiving a happy ending from a ladyboy in Thailand. It lasts a good minute, but it finishes pretty quick. Don't judge my hobbies. Some get the stinky end of this deal by having short bursts of fame, then run straight into irrelevance for the rest of their, well, lives. And the rest are lucky enough to be one-hit wonders, with their hits being so timeless that we never forget them. Like, who can forget 1,000 Miles by what's her name? I swear, every time that song comes on in a crowded place, every bad thing that's going on in the world at that moment comes to a halt, and all of us sing along in perfect sync. This song legit brings world peace. She doesn't need another hit. And Silent Hill with Watch Me Win.
Let me say this. Do you feel as though if it wasn't for white chicks, do you feel that's like that song would have been as monumental as it is? Because look at the impact white chicks had for that song. Like, everybody knows that song because of, you know what I'm saying?
Majority.
Well, not everybody. Because somebody gonna be, I was listening to that song before white chicks even came around. I know it was like, shut up. But you get what I'm saying, though.
I know what you're saying.
In the hood, bro, we fuck with this song because of white chicks.
You know
what I'm saying?
I agree.
Watch Me Nene? I mean, none of us are playing that song nowadays, but when it was out, it was big. Like, all the kids were dancing that song, playing it everywhere. You couldn't escape it. And to show how much of a phenomenon this song was, it was played at the biggest award show in the world, the Kids' Choice Awards. You can't get bigger than that. That's a career peak for anybody. The impact of that song was insane. So you know the fall gotta be equal to that. Cause after the song wasn't hot no more, the man fell off so hard, he murdered his cousin. That's tough. There was Young Ma with Ooh. This song will forever be a club hit. Shame she didn't have it.
But you want me to tell you another thing, how you know an artist gonna fall off? Is if the first time anybody come across you is because of your biggest hit. Like, people don't know you, like, one of your first songs that you put out is your biggest hit. That is like the number one curse of an artist.
Because what you gonna do to follow up with that?
Because think about, I'll say this. Think about an artist that I really, really enjoy his music, Bryson Tiller. Mm-hmm. Think about that first his first album put him on a trajectory of like, yo, just imagine. Yeah. And I think that first album was too good. Mm-hmm. I really feel like that first album was too good. Because after that, everybody complained about any music he ever put out.
They wanted that again.
But you also got to realize he was in a time period of that. Yeah. So his life changed, so the music changed. Yeah. But nobody wanted to adapt to that. So that's what's wrong with Silent Hill.
But at least some party or club somewhere will always be playing it. Well, I don't know. I'm not allowed in clubs, so. Estelle's American Boy, it hurts saying she's a one-hit wonder, but the song is amazing. Also with a goated verse from the GOAT. The song is genuinely perfect. Well, she ain't really a one-hit wonder if you count the hits she made on Steven Universe. But forget everything I just said. When we think about the best artists to fall off, we think of the ones that had a big breakout song, an album that made people think this person will be here for the long run. They will become a household name, only for them to be in love and hip-hop a few years later. I'm sadly talking about Fetty Wap. Fetty Wap, artist that comes from Jersey, represent! And probably the most popular rapper to come from here. Like, I was searching New Jersey rappers, and the second result is Fatboy SSE, so we're kind of lacking. Fetty Wap in 2015 literally blew up the entire hip-hop industry with his sleeper hit at the time, Trap Queen, which came out a year prior before it even reached the Billboard charts. And when I tell you everybody was singing this song, it was playing on every radio station, you couldn't escape it. In a good way. You can't tell me everyone and their doctors didn't know the opening 6 words of the refrain of the song. I'm like, hey, what's up, hello? And on April 4th, 2015, the song went #1 on the Billboard, beating Pitbull's song. Now, when you beat Mr. Worldwide in the charts, you're destined for greatness. And #1 on Billboard is a crazy feat, don't get me wrong. But this dude still could have been a one-hit wonder. Come on, how many other people went #1 only to be never heard of again? Like, who the hell is the baby? Who? But bro proved everyone wrong, cause 1 month after Trap Queen went #1, he released 679 Drake Edition. Now, I have my qualms with Drake, but I like the song. Proving he ain't no one-hit wonder, but at least 2. But soon after that, he released his self-titled studio album. Bro did not waste time. He saw the spotlight was on him, and he took his opportunity in the best way possible. Again, My Way, RGF Island. This album was filled with hit songs, or at least songs that would be played all over social media. Like, Fetty Wap was basically the go-to artist to use in your Vine back then. And this dude's music was being played all the time on repeat. He was also making the songs he was featured in hits. Like, nobody listened to Save That Money for Little Dicky, let's be honest. We're all listening for that hook. It seemed like this guy was unstoppable, and you could tell he felt that way too. Cause 1 month after he released his studio album, he released another album. The consistency is crazy. And to top it all off, it was a collab album with none other than French Montana. If you don't know who French Montana is, it's that nigga that Diddy cropped out in that one photo, and for good reason. This man is not a good rapper. Never in your life have you been in a car or a function and someone says, hey, put on that new French Montana. You never heard that. And if you have, you need to find new friends. These are the people that are bad influences that your mom and dad were talking about. Go hang out with murderers and drug dealers instead. At least those guys will have a more positive impact on you than a nigga that willingly listens to French Montana.
I say this, with Fetty Wap, I feel like the one reason why he fell off is because all his music sounded the same. Same way with the baby. The music sounded the same. For the time period, it was bumping because you had Trap Queen, then you had My Way. You had Remy, like you had everything, and everything, but eventually you were going to get tired of it because it had the same sound. And when an artist legit continuously put out the same sound, you like, all right, I ain't with this no more. Let's move on. That's the reason why those people like Drake, if you listen to the beginning Drake, like when he was, what's that joint he had with Trey Songz? damn, I can't think of it. Like, you listen to, like, early Drake and listen to Drake now, totally different. And everything in between, Drake has always had different sounds.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Even Kendrick. Kendrick's first album was nothing like his second album or the third album. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, those artists who are not afraid to kind of change it up typically last longer than those who continue to chase that sound that they made a hit with.
That is true.
I think that's why you fell off.
Free will in this beautiful life you have, and you spend it on that, you can't trust them. Anyways, their album was called Coke Zoo, and it's 13 songs, and it's a 2 can of ass. Now, Fetty did have a better performance than French on here, obviously, but French had way more songs and verses than him, and overall, the album is just very bland. No song sticks or stands out. It's just a nothing burger, bro. It has no replay value whatsoever. And after this project, his music slowed down on coming out, which is fine. He don't have to be like Youngboy releasing an album every 3 days. In 2016, the next year, he had a good few charting songs he was featured in, and also his own single, Wake Up, peaking at 50 in the Billboard Hot 100. And during this period of time, it felt like the calm before the storm. Freddie was still in people's mouths. He was still performing sold out shows and still charting. He was still very much popular. But after 2016, he kind of faded away out of the public eye more and more. He has released projects since then, but none of them created any buzz because overall, all of them were pretty meh. But also, there were no hits. See, Fetty Wap was very much a hit rapper, which is not a bad thing. It's just a bad thing when you want a fan base that would actually stay. And since he wasn't making any more hits, more people stopped talking about him. Plus, his new music sounds identical to the rest of his other music. I mean, you can say the same thing for other artists too, but Fetty's music also sounds dated. Like he was a product of his time and didn't try any new sounds or styles with his music to catch up to his own contemporaries. Other than that 2018 6ix9ine song Kiki, he has kind of disappeared from the popular space of music. And since then, in late 2022, he's pleaded guilty in drug charges and he's looking at 5 to 40 years in prison. That's tough. But also during his fall off, Trap Queen is Diamond. 10 million units sold. So at least he will also have a legacy to look back on in hip-hop history. Fetty Wap may have been a victim of falling down the stairs with a mediocre at best discography to look back on. There's another artist that I believe fell off, but on top.
Did you have anything you want to chime in on? Oh. No.
Gotye. Gotye was a solo artist from Australia who started his pro music career in 2001 when he released his self-titled EP. And during these years, he sent his EPs to radio stations, building a name for himself up to the release of his debut album, Like Drawing Blood, in 2006. And this album is actually pretty good. The songs have a unique flow and groove to them, and I'm terrible at describing music I like. The music sounds good to my ears. And apparently others thought the same because this album was pretty successful in the indie space. It was critically acclaimed. It was voted best album of 2006 in a listener poll by Triple J, a popular Australian radio station. The track Heart's a Mess was ranked number 8 on the station's Hot 100 of 2006.
How you even know of an artist like this, boy?
I mean, hey.
He young.
Well,
I ain't never heard of his name before. Like, I was like, who was Gotye? Because at first I thought he said Gotye. I was like, yeah, the old Gotye. He said Gotye. He thought he said Gotye.
But then when he flashed, I said, oh, we ain't talking about the same person.
I
don't know who you talking about.
Went platinum in Australia. Like, bro wasn't a nobody before his real big hit happened. Or at least not a nobody in Aussie land. It even won iTunes Album of the Year in the UK in 2008. Bro was kind of a big deal, and he would become an even bigger one once he released his second solo album in 2011, Making Mirrors, where one of his lead singles, Somebody That I Used to Know, well, blew the fuck up. I love this song so much. Now, I wish I could pick a different song as my favorite, since I've listened to all.
Now you feel some type of way.
Yes,
I don't know the song. I didn't see the video, the visuals.
I kept looking at him and I was like, he looks familiar.
I didn't see that
but
visual.
I know that song.
But I don't know. I still don't know.
Okay.
I probably know if I hear it. You know what I'm saying? But I still don't know.
Solo music, and also to seem more cultured, I guess. But this is my favorite song from him. No matter how many times I listen to it, even after 10 years later, it doesn't get old. And the whole sound of the song is unique too. Early 2010s pop radio songs were sounding more like electronic EDM dance music, sounding like a YouTube gaming channel intro. You know, a lot of them sound dated too, but not this song. Never this song. And the song did get his flowers, a lot of them too. And after his world tour, all eyes are still on him, especially since he just won the Record of the Year at the Grammy Awards. The people were waiting for more music from him. Except that ain't happened. Bro went radio silent, and not in a people weren't interested in him no more kind of way. No, bro disappeared from everywhere. Social media even started rumors saying he was dead, where he went out of hibernation just to tweet, "Nah, I'm alive." Then not long after the tweet, he posted a blog post saying he no longer will be releasing solo music and Gotye will be no more. Huh? This dude just released one of the biggest songs of the decade and now he's quitting? Why? That's like shooting yourself in the foot. What the heck? Well, one, in the post, he said he wanted to only focus working on music with his band, The Basics. By the way, he's in the band. I didn't mention that. And in interviews, he talks as if he doesn't really want the insane fame in the first place, which is fine, I guess, if that's what he wanted. Plus, I bet he can have a steady living for the rest of his life on that one song alone. It's just missed potential. Because Gotye was genuinely a great artist who could have stayed for the long run, instead of that one song being mostly his remembered legacy. Like Bronte is a great song and has a greater music video. More people should see this. He still releases music with his band The Basics, but I haven't listened to them yet. Plus, I've heard he's mainly the drummer. But Gotye is a great musician, so I wouldn't be surprised if I do like his band too. And
he don't like the publicity. He don't like the you know how some people, like, it's too overwhelming for them?
Yeah.
And I do believe a lot of artists do fade out of existence because of that. Like, it's too, like, I'll say this, like Summer Walker, when she first came out, I felt like Summer Walker was very antisocial. Like, she didn't, like, she can go sing, she can go, like, you know what I'm saying, do her thing. But when it comes down to public, being around it, around people, she just ain't with it. You know what I'm saying? And some people are like that. It's like, all right, this is too much. And is that possible reason why some artists fall off or disappear? I think Lauryn Hill kind of went through the same thing. She went on a hiatus for a long time as well. Yeah, I don't know if it was the pressure or what. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think it's
some deeper.
Yeah, but anyway, but no, I was gonna say I think that's okay. He probably just like, okay, he was able to taste and accomplish something and taste the fame for a little while and see how it felt. And he was like, this ain't for me. I'm just gonna play with my band, play the drums, live life, be happy, to the background, be at peace, and I'm good with that, and it's okay.
True that.
Hopefully, he could release more solo music in the future. Alright, I'ma stop glazing this dude and move on to the next man. Or baby. Da Baby. Rapper, meme, car. He's mad popular. Also, some of y'all might be thinking, I thought this was the best artist to fall off. Why he here? And yeah, he might not be nowhere near the best in anything, but I like Kirk and Baby on Baby. You know, I think he is a better discography than Fetty Wap. So now, although this guy's fall from grace is kind of recent, it's very evident that this man is 100% not the big star he used to be. Bro in 2019 and 2020 was on top. He released 3 albums that made it to the top of the charts. Had hit after hit. Bro's song Rockstar with Roddy Ricch was #1 for 7 straight weeks. He was nominated for 6 Grammys, endorsement after endorsement, TV performance after performance, getting away with murder at a Walmart. It seemed like nobody could stop this dude. But then this guy decided to be in a bunch of controversies. Assaulting airport kiosk workers, slapping a female fan for trying to take a picture of him, beefing with JoJo Siwa just cause she's taller than him. Bro was just constantly getting in trouble. And the final straw was that 2021 Rolling Loud set where he just started saying the dumbest shit.
Ladies, if you like to shove bowling balls and pineapples up your pussy, put your cell phone flashlights in the air right now.
Bro, I was about to say, I swear.
But let me see on the baby real quick. I'll say this. If the baby came out, he was an artist before 2010, he would not have got counsel. Honestly, all the shenanigans he did and everything he said would have only elevated him as an artist. If he was the artist before 2010 that he was before the controversy, he would be a superstar. Reason why? Cancel culture, Gen Z mindset. Playing with y'all but cancel culture.
Yeah, gotta let them know because I'll be
playing with you from a different video. But cancel culture and just new age adults. I say that new age adults because it's not even just Gen Z. It's millennials as well. But
unfortunately, we ain't living in no time no more. So.
No, I'm saying what I'm saying is because of that.
Yeah.
That's the reason why he had a fall off.
You know, I agree.
But before 2010, even saying what he said, it would have elevated his career. Because they would have been like, bro ain't scared to say shit, bro. Bro really about that, man.
I agree.
And you know what I'm saying? Lifestyle, everything was still the same. It just people wasn't like ready to counsel you for anything nowadays. Like, dude, somebody tried to counsel us. I'm like, what the hell, bro? Block. Like, keep it moving, man. But hey, he got to learn how to deal with it. Like I said previously before, the only way he comes back is if he changed his rap style. He can't keep doing the same thing. Even he done changed the type of music he put out, his rapping style has still been the same.
Do you think with all you just said in the era that we're living in right now, that just changing the rap style, changing the sound will help him? Mm-hmm. And people will be like, all right, we go give you another chance.
I ain't saying that. So basically what I'm saying is, if he changed his rap style, it would draw people to be like, oh, have you heard that new DaBaby? Like, bro, really spitting. Like, it sounds totally different. Then all the YouTubers gonna react to it. Boom, boom, boom. He gets back trending. He gets back talked about.
Gotcha.
And then eventually, what he did kind of fades out of people. Because a lot of people just like, hey, I'm gonna roll with it because everybody else rolling with it.
That is how people are, but I mean, yeah.
That's we kind of in that bandwagon way right now, where everybody bandwagon on cancellation, even if they don't give a two fucks. They just like, well, I'm gonna just agree because I don't want y'all to cancel me too, so I'm gonna agree with them. Yeah. So yeah, but if he put out like something that's totally different, quit trying to quit with that, and actually open up, be on some lyrical type shit, and actually rap. Yeah. I think he'll get talked about.
And fellas, if you like sucking on balls, leave.
Oh man,
I ain't with that gay stuff, man. Leave, man. I ain't no Frank Ocean. Leave that stuff at home.
Yeah, dude said some homophobic stuff, and basically the whole industry turned on him. He lost a majority of his endorsements. Bro was pulled off of concert lineups, and overall, the public wasn't really messing with him no more. He even one time had to cancel his New Orleans show because it only sold 500 tickets in a venue that's supposed to seat 14,000. If that doesn't indicate a fall off, then I don't know what does. His recent album, Baby on Baby 2, only sold 17K first week versus his 2019-2020 albums that would sell 150K, getting #1 on the Billboard charts. It just seems like bro really messed his own career up for nothing. And some people still might say he hasn't fallen off. Look at his Spotify monthly listeners. Bro's still pulling big numbers. Okay, remove the Dua Lipa song and that cuts off at least half of these listeners off, minimum. Then remove Rockstar and that's probably minus 5 million right there. Most of this dude's listeners are only listening to his hits that most of the time he's only featured in. It ain't that hard to pinpoint this info. And do I feel bad for his fall off? No! Bro did this entirely himself. Even on his new album, Baby on Baby 2, on his song Socks, he says, lost 20 million for keeping it real, bitch. I don't give a fuck about no money. Bro isn't even sorry. He basically said all the apologies he said in the past don't mean nothing. But who knows? Maybe he will make a comeback. He has a new song that debuted at number 92 on the Billboard Hot 100. Although the Repo Reaper on TikTok is the only reason his song is getting any streams. That tells you where his career is at right now. Alright, I gotta move on from this dude and talk about a person that genuinely hurts my soul that I had to say this. Chance the Rapper. Chance the Rapper started his career with his breakout mixtape 10 Day, which was okay. But then the year after, Acid Rap came out and it was amazing. In my opinion, it's up there with hip hop's best all-time mixtapes. Bro brought a unique sound to hip hop with the fun, bouncy, and sometimes melodic tracks here. The whole mixtape brings a supreme vibe to it that a lot of other projects don't bring. Also, his ad-libs going every track, breathtaking, revolutionary. Acid Rap is just a great project that introduced his talents to a much wider audience. Bro was destined to be big, especially upon the release of his album, mixtape, The Coloring Book. In middle school, I adored this album. It was constantly in my rotation, and personally, I loved it more than Acid Rap. I had every song on here on repeat, and my favorite song on the album would change like every week. My favorite is All We Got. No, it's Angels. No, it's No Problems. No, it's Juke Jam. This album is like perfect. I mean,
you said what?
I said I like Juke Jam.
Did you come start it? Hey, that shit hard. Hey, shout out to Coloring Book is great album. Great album. With Chance, I think Chance be trying to do too much outside the box. And I think Chance doesn't try to stay stagnant, but he tries to change too much. Now, remember earlier I said,
because I'm
it's
like,
a good thing.
Look.
It's a good thing for change, but too much change.
So it's like you can't stay the same. You can't do too much. Mm-hmm. You gotta be like just right, just in the middle. Like
I say this, nobody, because like his fall off was his last album when he talked about his wife through the whole album. You gotta understand, most people who are listening to your music and stuff aren't people who are probably even married or even in a real serious relationship that they wants to think about their wife or their when they listen to your music. A lot of y'all fan base who constantly listen to y'all music are single individuals, whether male or female. So if I wanted to, most of them are gonna be like, if I wanted to hear something about praising a woman, I'm gonna listen to some R&B, which is true. Yeah. But I think if he came out, also reason why Chance I feel like I don't think he 100% fell off.
Yeah.
I think he can redeem his career, but he's taking too long to put out another project. And I think possibly the reason why he might be taking a while, he always took his time because real, true, great art is you take your time with it. If you just putting out music after music after music, it's either you don't trust your music for real, or something shady with that.
It's not of any type of quality.
Bingo. But with him, I feel as though one reason why we haven't heard another project from him, because I don't know if his music be albums or mixtape. Yeah. You gotta let him explain that. Yeah. But I think because the last project got so much negativity, I don't know if I don't know if I can how to follow up behind that. Yes. I think if you put out another Coloring Book, hey, there you go. The fans come back. Or you put out another Acid Rap type style. But something of that caliber, it doesn't have to be the same, but it has to be something of that caliber, but it cannot be that last album you just gave us. Yeah. It can never be that. Because if you put that out again,
it's going to be the same thing over. Yeah.
Career over. But, hey, that's Chance. He got a core fan base.
Angels. No, it's No Problems. No, it's Juke Jam. This album is like perfect. I mean, I don't think it's top tier hip hop music or anything, but I have zero complaints about the album other than the mixing and All Night. But I can forgive it. This album is great. I love this album so much. He deserved all the praise and awards he got from it. This album was a big part of my middle school days, and Chance was definitely one of my favorite rappers, period, during that time. I was deeply anticipating more Chance music in the future. I mean, he met Kanye West. He was never going to fail, right? So his next project was bound to succeed. And then it happened. 3 years after The Coloring Book, he announced his debut album, The Big Day. Holy guacamole.
But y'all should have expected. It's called The Big Day. He's holding a blank album that you can see through and clearly see his wedding ring. Yeah. And it's like he expected that to go diamond. This is a diamond album.
Yeah.
Wedding ring, focus, because I want y'all to see. And it's called The Big Day.
Yeah.
Everything was there to let y'all know what it was going to be.
I mean, cool and all, but that ain't what they wanted. That ain't what the people wanted.
Yeah. You also got to feed the people what they want.
Yeah.
But switch it up sometimes. Like, you know
what I'm saying? Switch it up, but...
How Drake came out with, you know what I'm saying, the reggaeton and all that, you know what I'm saying, the dance hall and the Afro beats. He switched it up. You like, oh, shit, I wasn't expecting it, Drake.
Yeah.
But, hey, even Drake, I still want a real rap album. I want a 100% from 1 to track 15.
Yeah.
Straight rap, ended. We don't need nothing else.
This was a big day for me. I couldn't wait. I was ready. And on Friday morning, 12 a.m. on release, I put on my headphones. I could feel the sweat going down my gluteus maximus. I am so happy. Then I pressed play. And as I was listening to the music, the songs felt a little off. A bit different from his previous music. It was perhaps a little more experimental. Or something. Maybe not that. Wait. Dog, what the fuck am I listening to? It was garbage. Dreadful. Gobbledygook. And not in like a French Montana Fetty Wap Coke Zoo nothing burger kind of way. Because if it was, it would actually be better. Because with a nothing burger, you just get no nutrition or enjoyment out of it. The Big Day is like receiving a lobotomy. Like, first, this album had like 8 writers and 8 producers for each song. 2, the lyrics are just... Look at this. Peanut butter jelly with a baseball bat. Peanut butter jelly with a peanut butter jelly. It'll break your back. By the way, almost all the lyrics on this album are this corny and this trash. And when he's not talking about peanut butter jelly or God, he's talking about loving his wife. Now, I understand you love your wife, dude. I love your wife too. But if you're not gonna talk about your love for her in any kind of interesting way or do it in any other creative way other than just say, I love her and she's beautiful, she's my queen. Bro, can you talk about something else? Can you talk about doing drugs again, please? Every song has the same rhythm, tone, feel. It doesn't change or do anything interesting, which is even worse since this album is almost an hour and 20 minutes long. Honestly, this is probably the most disappointing album from an artist I loved I've ever listened to. Cause even with the albums I don't like from artists that I love, there's usually a good few tracks I would come back to, you know, that I like, but not this one. Not a single one on this album has replay value. And when I say these things, I don't mean for anybody to shit on Chance, because I still think overall he's a great artist. It's just this project upsets me so much because this has been basically his last album for the past almost 4 years. And the album sucks. The man has released very little music since this album, outside from that Christmas mixtape he released in 2020 with Omarion or whoever. I don't care. I'm not listening to that. That's not a real project. And I feel like this dude knows the bad reception his album gets. That's why he's been wearing his #3 hat promoting Coloring Book for the past 7 years. I swear this hat is surgically attached to this man. Take that shit off already. Damn! Maybe I'm looking at Chance's last projects through rose-tinted glasses, because I listened to those albums as I was a kid. And even though The Big Day is a terrible album, I am so happy for the current success of Chance in his career. I love seeing him being part of modern media despite not releasing any music in a number of years. I am so happy for him. He might have fallen off quality-wise, but I only want future uphill success for him, no matter if he releases any more music or not. And if he does release more music, hopefully this album was just a hiccup, and he starts burping again. And yeah, I feel like I've discussed enough in this video, although I definitely could make a part 2 to this. There's a few others off the top of my head that I could list, like Coldplay and Maroon 5. Like, how you go from this to this? Like, seriously. Also, there's one more that fell off quality-wise that I can rant about for days on end. But that's for another day. I feel like I've said my piece. And in conclusion, I kind of like Hot Shower. I'm sorry. It's kind of grown on me. I'm sorry.
Look at said Vanilla Ice will make a comeback. Never. That man, no.
Yeah, I think so.
Ice, baby. Ice. He had his hit.
Yeah.
Hey man, with that being said, it is a lot of other artists, man. I really think, you know what I'm saying, if you go look at that SoundCloud wave, I don't think any of those artists had the trajectory that y'all thought they would have.
Yeah.
Because a lot of those artists that y'all blew up so early, not even in their 30s yet, and majority of y'all who were their fans don't even listen to their music anymore. So, hey, it is what it is.
Y'all done grew up, huh?
I saw it coming. I used to tell people back in the day, I'm like, hey, that shit temporary, bro.
Yeah.
I remember being on campus and being in classes and stuff, and like we used to discuss it, and I'd be like, I don't get it. I don't think it's... Most of those, it's like a popularity contest. They still relevant. Y'all to talk about them, but they're not relevant for music like they were. But with that being said, spam us up. Y'all let us know y'all thoughts and opinions. But as always, I do go by the name DJ Kid. This is
Here.
We out here.
Go and get it, ain't no time to kick it. Got a stack of flip for my folks. Dollar. Please tell me you can hear me. Don't tell your back.